Dice Company contains fantasy violence, mature themes, and unapologetic bickering. No feelings were hurt in the making of it, but listener discretion is advised. Dice Company will always be free, but it's not free to make. Please consider supporting us on Patreon or Apple Podcasts and get access to our weekly roundtable show Extra Roll. Just follow any of the links in the show notes for this chapter.
The torrential rain lashes down in Shale as Vander Finnick walks arm in arm with Morticia Wesson, who covers them both with an umbrella.
My love, we must make a short stop before we attend the meeting.
Of course, Cyril. And she follows your lead.
I'm coming to you, Seeksorrow.
Hi.
You approach the copper kettle, and to your amazement, there is a bright yellow tarp under which is a gathering of dozens of sailor-type people, all being orchestrated by a slightly drunk-looking Seeksorrow and an impassive-looking Tok.
Seeksorrow might look a bit drunk. He's more kind of high on the situation. He's managed to find among the crowd a couple of fiddle players, and he's now Seeksorrow is now standing on the little table they constructed as a kind of recruitment desk, and he's kind of marching from side to side. And as the fiddle music goes on, the whole crowd march first one way with him, and then the other way, and he's kind of waving his arms in the air like a kind of shit DJ. And for anyone from Frost Hollow would know the tune that's being played as the Gravedigger's Jig. And he's just orchestrating the crowd. He barely remembers why he assembled them, but everyone's on the creme de menthe, everyone's on the ale. There's a proper festival atmosphere going on. Seeksorrow sees Vander and the good lady approaching and calls over the head of the crowd and goes, "The Admiral's coming, lads!"
And a cheer goes up from the crowd as they turn to face Vander.
We need support, my love, and I believe we may have found it.
And Vander straightens his tricorn hat and begins marching in the direction of the crowd.
And Seeksorrow gestures for the crowd to part to make a wide gangway for this. And I'm thinking the crowd might part more for the lady than for Vander, but you know, there's a sense of occasion, and they know that they've heard tell of the Admiral and they're interested to see him.
You sense a new aura around Vander. Things are changing in Vander's head. Old connections are sparking to life, and a darkness which has fallen across his entire view of the world has lifted for a light he thought had forever gone out. There's a passion and a fire in Vander's eye as he makes his way towards Seeksorrow.
As Vander, the new man, walks into the heart of the crowd, Morticia Wesson stands on the outskirts, clutching her umbrella and smiling as she watches him. Behind her appears Petren dragging an enormous chest of gold coins, followed by a dozen or so members of the Circle of Thorns.
As Vander and Morticia approach the makeshift table, Seeksorrow jumps down and holds out his hand to Vander, you know, as if to kind of offer him a chance to get up. Really, whether Vander, just with a hand, can get up onto a table height without any steps, not sure. But he says, "Ladies and gents, the Admiral would like to say a few words."
Not missing a beat, Vander takes Seeksorrow's hand and in one movement finds himself up on stage as he turns to face the crowd. He then surveys them, his eye gleaming as he takes in his new crew.
Look at you.
And Seeksorrow gives a kind of palms up, flapping gesture to encourage a cheer from the crowd.
Look at you all,
says Vander, his face cracking into a smile.
I see you, boys. Grime under your nails, smoke in your lungs, salt in your hair, damaged but unbreakable. You're Shale through and through.
And he pauses for acclaim,
which he receives.
For a time, he turns sideways to the crowd, I was lost. We were all lost, weren't we, boys?
And again, he turns for applause.
Yeah!
Seeksorrow is totally caught up in this. He's become part of the crowd and he's cheering madly.
But today, I was told the world needs heroes again!
Yeah!
So again we call, boys, but not to the seas, to the skies.
And Vander's cane shoots up, pointing at the raining heavens.
Up there, past the clouds, is a sky of fools who believe that altitude provides safety. The heights make them untouchable, they think, boys. But we will set fire to the heavens.
There's a crack of thunder and a lightning flash that frames Vander as he stands underneath the tarpaulin, and the crowd goes berserk.
Make no mistake, we will not be remembered for our mercy. We will be remembered for our daring, as the navies of old were, and will prove to those who would rule us that we will bend the knee to no man.
There is an eruption in response to your words as another bolt of lightning and crack of thunder fills the sky, and a small heron gosling lands on your shoulder.
Vander looks at the gosling and turns again to the crowd.
So, boys, check your lines, lock your blades, and say your goodbyes to your loved ones. We march now, for we have a fleet to commandeer. With me now, boys!
And he jumps down from the stand and begins marching in the direction of the meeting.
And the crowd immediately falls into step behind you.
Seeksorrow's picked up an empty barrel and he's banging it like a drum and cheering and marching along beside Vander.
Tok is inexplicably wearing a chef's hat and appears to have set up a small barbecue flipping burgers, which he tries to pack away and then decides to abandon and then just follow them.
Much to the annoyance of no refund Nottle.
Oh, he's going to be pissed, isn't he?
Petren, what are you doing?
Petren looks a bit worried,
Of course.
turns to Mira and says, I mean, this is the recklessness I was talking about. Anyway, I'd better go. And he leaves Mira with the chest of money and follows along.
As you walk away, you hear Mira calling, "Good luck, Petren, and thank you. Keep doing good things."
Vander turns over his shoulder.
Plex, Otis, the pipes and drums, if you please.
Yes, Vander. So we've now got bagpipes, 2 lots of drums, a fiddle, a burger flipper, Heron on your shoulder, Heron in the air, rabble around you, and an adoring Morticia watching it all unfold as you march on the Mourner's Keep. Welcome on and all to Dice Company Small Embers Chapter 79, where a group of friends weave tales of triumph, heroism and despair under the guise of playing Dungeons & Dragons. My name is Tom, and I'll be your DM through the continuing adventures of this unstoppable gathering storm of power. Unstoppable gathering storm of power? Please introduce yourselves and tell the audience one fun fact about your characters.
Hello, I'm Dave, and I play an unstoppable gathering storm of power. Also known as Petren Oakflower. Now, Petren feels somewhat relieved to have unburdened himself of all that money. From Petren's experience of living near that village near Frost Hollow, he found that most of the problems in the village he used to live nearby seemed to stem from money and arguments about money. And so he wants no truck with it. But he wonders to himself, what is it that stopped him from getting rid of all of it?
Kernel of greed.
Oh my god, he can be corrupted. No one tell Vander.
You don't need to tell Vander. The assumption is that everyone can be corrupted. And I'm glad that we've seen the first stage of Petren on his journey to overcommitting to capitalism.
We've all been there.
It's a journey we all must take sooner or later.
Is this what the podcast is about? I don't like it.
Hi, I'm Alex, and I'm playing Seeksorrow. And while Seeksorrow was searching Vander's cabin for instruction books on sailing, he came across a book, a little book of pain. Closing the book quickly, because he thought Vander wouldn't like it, Seeksorrow went away and decided to make Seeksorrow's little book of joy. He's found one joyful thing about each of his fellow sailors so far. Here are 3 highlights from Seeksorrow's book of joy so far. Number 1, while searching Vander's desk, he found a cuddly toy unicorn. 2, he thought he heard Petren singing a little song the other day. 3, weirdly, he thought out of the corner of his eye that he saw Tok moving in time to that song.
Presumably, Seeksorrow has triggered a series of traps by entering Vander's office, and deadly poison is coursing through his veins as we speak.
Causing wild hallucinations.
Yeah, sorry. Fact 4. Seeksorrow is now dead. Seeksorrow is now in a gaseous form.
Hi, I'm Harry, and I play Tok, an imposing 6'8" automaton.
Hey.
Tok seems to have expanded his workshop to encompass nearly the entire lower deck of the Sterling. Despite this, Tok has stated that he still requires more workshop space. Whilst the crew sleeping quarters on the deck above have yet to be infringed upon, even the less observant party members will have noticed there seems to be an additional door leading out of the mess.
What the actual fuck is going on my ship?
Just Charlie's face during that entire fact was a sight.
Dom, he is using canonizing to take over the ship room by room.
I don't like this parliamentary privilege thing that you guys are doing. This is outrageous metagaming. Sort of. Not really metagaming, but you know what I mean. Stop doing it.
I was actually okay with this abuse of power when it was only me doing it.
Yeah.
Well, this is the problem, isn't it? The same with parliaments in general, is that it's okay when you do it, but it's less nice when others do.
Wait, did you just come out against democracy?
No.
I've said it before and I'll say
He
it
was
again.
talking about parliaments of owls.
No, I did not.
Got you back here.
Specifically about owls.
Oh, sorry. My easy mistake to make, I guess.
I should also say, surely at this point, the ship is the party's rather than just Vander's. Surely.
Oh, yeah.
Your point.
But it's a really hard one because, yes, it is the party ship, but Vander still sees it as his. So when I'm talking at this level of the game, I don't know where I am with it because, am I speaking as Vander now? I don't know.
I think it's probably like the party ship via like average, but each individual party member thinks it's their ship.
Ah, well, hi, I'm Charlie, and I still play, I think, Vander Finnick.
Hey.
And Vander's fact also comes from Vander's pain diary. So here we are. Entry, or should I say, day 21. Continued dull ache in chest, now accompanied by intermittent burning. Initial diagnosis, lung puncture, brackets again, delayed poisoning, or early onset of domestic possession. Cure attempts, boiled all shirts, switched daily blood tonic for something with more bite, spent an hour staring at own reflection to reassert psychological dominance. Results, ineffective, the pain persists. Further symptoms, reduced hatred of others, brackets unusual, brief episodes of lightness, brackets alarming, smiled yesterday, unclear as to why, possibly related though. Conclusion, unlikely to be fatal, but deeply inconvenient. And yet, not altogether unpleasant. Unrelated note in the margin of the pain diary. Notice the rats on the ship have begun to organise. Observed crude hierarchies forming and resource pooling. Must check back in on this.
Hashtag hogmail.
some sneaky canonising going on there too.
It's not the obvious intelligence he's upset with, it's the unionisation behaviour.
Exactly.
It's also stuck in big capitalism.
If there's a hierarchy, Vander wants to be at the tippy top.
I think I've got a new comedic toy to play with now, thanks to that, which is brackets again. I feel like brackets again could be added to lots of things and it would suddenly be funny.
Yeah.
Some housekeeping. Don't forget to check out our companion podcasts, The Tales of Kalevala, Extra Rollin' Around the Campfire. Head over to dicecompanypodcast.com for merchandise and follow us on Bluesky, TikTok and YouTube. Join us in the Discord, the Discord, the greatest community in all of TTRPGs. Links for all of these can be found in the show notes. And for those so inclined, feel free to check out earlier episodes of Small Embers, which have now been remastered.
Way!
And please remember, you must leave a place that you have lived in and loved, and where all your yesteryears are buried deep. Leave it in any way except a slow way. Leave it in the fastest way you can. Never turn back, and never believe that the hour you remember is a better hour because it's dead. Past years seem safe ones, vanquished ones, while the future lives in the clouds, formidable from a distance. So let's turn the page on the next chapter of Dice Company. Previously on Small Embers, the Order of the Heron, along with a group of drunken sailors and Lady Morticia Wesson, are marching to Mourner's Keep for a meeting with Nori Gosler and the War Council of Shale to decide the future of the city's secret air fleet. You head in through the open doors towards the North Tower. Unbelievably, all of you squeezing in. The wind whistles through the ancient bastion as the torchlight flickers as you march up. In and sat before you in the, let's make it a large room at this point, is Shale's Council of War, seated around the map table. Vander, you recognise Lord Cedric Highmore has now joined the council. 11 of the 12 seats are taken. They all fall silent as the mass pipes and drums of the Order of the Heron enter into the room. Nori Gosler stands smartly to address you, Vander.
Sky Marshal!
First Sea Lady, and who, pray tell, are all of these people?
Interested bystanders.
Seeksorrow bellows, I say order! And you say, and they shout, Heron!
I see you have brought all of your friends, members of the Order of the Heron, and there is a small cough that can be heard over the din that the crowd are making as Morticia Wesson makes her way to the front and sits in the 12th chair of the War Council. Oh, I see. You have Lady Morticia Wesson with you. Okay. The Council have discussed the use of Shale's air fleet, and we are ready to vote on the proposal of joining your collective. A majority vote is required, as is tradition. Each of the 4 members who we thought made up the Order of the Heron have the right to stand before us and explain why we should vote in favour of this motion. This is your last opportunity to speak. Speak, and we shall listen.
For a second, the briefest second, a flicker of doubt crosses Vander's face, but the fire resurges and confidence returns.
Of course. In the interests of a strong finish, perhaps,
He says under his breath.
Petren, maybe you would like to speak first.
What?
Come forward now, don't be shy.
And Petren had been hanging at the back of the group trying to look inconspicuous and is now ushered forward, and all the hands of the various sailors kind of push him to the front as it becomes obvious who it is that's been addressed. And he stands in front of the council looking very awkward and takes a moment racking his brain for something to say, and then staring to middle distance and not really catching the eye of any of the members of the council, he says, "Oh, someone said to me today that what matters isn't what you do, it's what you try to do, that you try to do something good, because you don't know what's going to happen, so all you can do is try. And I think we're trying. We might not get it right. I mean, often we don't get it right. Often we get it very badly wrong indeed. But that's not the point. The point is we want to help people and we want to be worthy of the responsibility of this fleet. And to be honest, I don't know if you're trying. Perhaps you are. I don't know. But to me, it seems like you seem like you're entitled to the fleet and you haven't weighed up what it means. And so that's what I think. Thank you. And he takes a few steps back and tries to disappear back into the crowd.
Give me a persuasion check, please.
At advantage, presumably, because of the majesty of the speech, right?
Nope.
Oh, 18.
You are met with some surprised looks and a smattering of applause from around half of the council, the loudest of which being Morticia Wesson, who actually stands up to give you a standing ovation.
Always liked her.
Fine words, fine words. May I introduce another crewmate of the Sterling? Seeksorrow, where are you?
Seeksorrow also shuffles uncomfortably out. It's weird because I feel slightly nervous talking to a crowd, even though the crowd is fictional.
So imagine them naked up.
A huge roar comes up.
Seeksorrow kind of raises a hand and gives them a sheepish grin, kind of reluctantly accepting their applause. And he says, I'll make it quick because I'm not used to talking to fancy people like you. But that's sort of the point. I'm just a normal guy from Frost Hollow. I've only been here a few days. But today we wanted to find a crew. And me and my friend Tok here and Tick, we set up a little stand. And look at the crew we've got. Look how keen they all are. So that's really all I want to say. That, with a little bit of common touch, well as all your cleverness and airships and all that sort of thing, we can put the two together to make something worth having. So I've been practicing my sailing. I've used my skill with normal folk to build all these enthusiastic people you can hear behind me. And he gives a little gesture in the hope that they're going to cheer to kind of underline his point.
Right, yeah, woo!
And he kind of, again, smiles sheepishly and goes, I rest my case, Your Honours.
Give me a persuasion check, please.
Natural 20.
Oh,
Or 20.
The same people who applauded Petren's speech now applaud Seeksorrow, with Morticia Wesson again giving a standing ovation and being the loudest of all of them. And you see on the face, the impassive face of Nori Gosler, the small hint of a smile.
Also, fine words, Seeksorrow, fine words. And now, we turn to Tok.
Vander says. The smile's still on his face, but there's something in his voice that suggests that something may be about to go wrong.
It's funny Vander should say that, because over the last couple of speeches, you've noticed a faint hiss and a small familiar smell, like Petren remember it as the smell of Gymnophilus subspectabilis, which is the perfume that Vander was wearing.
The sons of Kale move west to the forests of Lanasil. Root and branch, seed and sapling, the forest is my kin. The elves are my friends and teachers. The forest will burn, the elves will be killed. This is motivation for myself. For you, the trees will be cut. They will be made into airships. They will be made into mindless automatons beyond counting.
Tok holds up the 11th book of Elias the Wanderer.
The new army will sweep the continent. They will convert you all into spell components for the grand ritual of ascension, so that the Emperor Salazar may cling to life and power. You will die. Your cities will die. You shall be forgotten in the new world the Emperor will forge from humanity's smelted souls.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you give me an intimidation check? At advantage, because I'm terrified and I feel like like the room has fallen deathly silent.
Seeksorrow mentally crosses off someone from his list of wedding speakers at the Finnick Wesson wedding.
That was the list.
That was not the list.
Tok be guided by his sheer insensitivity to human emotion.
It feels like the book of Elias is enough to help guide you, so yes, he can.
Ooh. So, unfortunately, Tok only rolls an 8.
The silence permeates the room for a few seconds as the council look worriedly at one another and then back to Tok. And even Morticia Wesson, who has been the biggest supporter of all of you, remains seated and just slowly half claps and then just puts her hands back in her lap and looks back at the worried faces around her.
Hard words to hear,
says Vander, his cane striking the floor as he makes his way back to the centre.
but Tok, is a being of truth and foresight, so I urge you to consider what he said most carefully. I have a few words in my own defense, if I may. Some of you know me by the name Vander Finnick, and this is testament to my abilities as an admiral of airships. I have flown the breadth and depth of Elestia. I was piloting airships when you were a gosling, Gosler. I have done many deeds as a captain of airships, and my experience is unmatched in the room. But I have another name, and with it another claim.
Vander takes a step forward.
Some of you know me by the name Cyril Highmore. I was a noble of this place, a young man famed for his work with a blade, and I used that blade to defend the principles and the people of Shale. We lost that war, and I bled for that loss. As you see, from the man before you, I was tortured for my love of this place. By the people who claim to rule us now, we stand at a crossroads. We need leadership, and as a wise person told me some hours ago, we need heroes. I humbly submit my name for the position,
And he looks directly at Nori Gosler.
of Sky Marshal.
Give me a persuasion check, please.
A 24.
There is a beat of silence, and then from behind you and all around you, the room erupts into applause and cheers. Morticia Wesson is on her feet, wiping a tear from her eye, and even the stoic face of Nori Gosler cracks the smallest of smiles. There is a loud banging from the table, and you look to see Cedric Highmore, who's banging a gavel on the table, and he looks you dead in the eye. You are no son of mine. And instantly, Morticia Wessons flicks around, looks him in the eye, and says, "Shut up, Cedric, you old goat." Nori Gosler steps forward and waits for the crowd to die down. We will now cast our votes. All those in favour of joining the Order of the Heron, and every hand at the table, except for Cedric Highmore, is raised. Nori Gosler looks, counts them, turns to face you, and briefly raises her hand in the air as well. It seems, Admiral Finnick, that the War Council are in agreement. Control of the fleet is yours, Sky Marshal. And she gives you a little nod. And there's another eruption from behind you as the crowd go berserk. And Morticia Wesson runs up and throws herself and kisses you as above you a heron circles the room.
Oh my god!
An increasingly frightened heron.
Following the meeting, the Order and the War Council of Shale prepare to depart. Tok contacts Sir Cog for an update.
Over Ross. Sir Cog, please provide a status report of the Knights of Scarlet.
Over Ross, the Knights are a day's travel from Sanctuary and the Quorum of Rebellion. Ironsteiger and Kane are leading the force, ready to pledge themselves to protect the continent from the Empire. With a clear destination set, the Order use their free time to get some much-needed rest before the off, with Vander almost exclusively spending it with Morticia, Petren with Barilla, Seeksorrow shopping, and Tok working on a number of projects. As the departure date approaches, there is a knock at the captain's cabin.
Enter.
Yine Wander.
Ah, Plex, do come in.
And Vander sits back in his chair.
Plex enters and shuts the door behind him.
How are you finding your current duties, Plex?
I find them to be acceptable.
And I find you to have performed them admirably,
Vander says, rising and staring out of the captain's windows to the rear of the ship.
but not a full utilization of your potential, perhaps.
And his eye turns back to Plex.
No, Vander.
I see greatness in you, Plex. I see promise. The glint of a captain's eye, if I'm not mistaken.
Yine, Vander?
Yine, Plex. As you may be aware, I am now the Sky Marshal.
Yine, Vander.
And as such, I am able to bestow the honor of captain on whomever I see fit.
You notice that he stands up a little straighter. Yine, Vander.
I see my intentions are already known to you.
Yine, Vander.
It is my earnest pleasure, Plex, to promote you back to the rank of captain in my fleet.
Yine, Vander.
You will be the iron fist of my fleet, Plex. Under my esteemed command, we will do incredible things. And you will execute my orders to the letter, will you not?
Yine, Vander.
It strikes me, though, that a captain who is somewhat different will need a mark on them that tells the crew in no uncertain terms that they are in command.
Yine, Vander.
Yine, Plex.
And Vander strides over to his wardrobe, and out of it he produces a very tattered captain's uniform, which he brings over to Plex.
This, Plex, is for you.
Plex holds his hands out to receive the uniform.
And Vander reverently places the captain's uniform in them.
Don't mind the holes, picked up a few shrapnel wounds on the way. But that is not all. There is one other little item.
And from a drawer lower down on the wardrobe set that Vander has just been looking through, he pulls a rusted sword.
This is not much to look at, Plex, and I doubt it will cut worth a damn. But as a symbol, it can do far more than harm others. It can inspire them. I entrust this to you. It once belonged to a man I respected very much indeed.
And he hands over the sword as well.
And he takes it from you and turns it over in his hand and looks at it for a moment.
I see once again you understand the meaning of this gesture.
Yine, Vander.
One last thing, Plex.
And Vander looks at him hard, but then his expression changes.
We'll need to communicate between the ships, and I have just the thing.
And he pulls from his drawer a series of crude flags. Vander's not very good at making things, so the flags look awful, but they are different colours.
This is a trick I learned some years ago. It is called semaphore, and can be used to communicate between ships in moments of need. This,
And Vander produces a tattered script in Vander's hand.
are the signals. I entrust this copy to you. You will be entrusted to tell the other captains how the system works.
Yine, Vander.
Now, Plex, go forth, for I will have orders for you within the day. For now, though, to your ship and your crew.
Yine, Vander. And Plex turns with his arms full of stuff and kind of just walks into the door, which opens, and then you see him kick it behind him to close it. And actually, as you look out through the small window in the door to the captain's quarters, you can see he's immediately placed them on the poop deck and is pulling the clothes on. He pulls out a whetstone and starts sharpening the sword. And then from a bag that he carries, he pulls out a captain's hat as well, which he places on his head.
Vander smiles as he sees that, and under his breath, he says,
From small embers, fires burn.
Petren, you head down to the galley, where you find Barilla has made herself quite at home over the last few days. Oh, hello there.
Hello, brother. How you seem to be quite comfortable, I hope?
Oh, absolutely. I'm making some soup. Do you want some?
Well, I was hoping to talk to you. I wondered if you might want to go for a bit of a walk.
Oh, that sounds lovely, yeah. Where are we going?
Well, why don't we walk the streets of Shale? We could make ourselves inconspicuous, and I don't know. I've discovered I quite like that. If you walk around the town using our furbolg magic to make ourselves unnoticeable, you can watch the humans go about their daily lives, and I find it quite soothing in a way.
Okay.
The two of them, using their furbolg magic, take a stroll through the morning streets of Shale.
It's pouring with rain as well.
And Petren says, I was just wondering, Brilla, it seems like we're going to be on the move fairly soon, and I was just wondering, what are you going to do when that happens? Of course, you're more than welcome to come along with us, but we realised we hadn't discussed it in any way, and I thought we should do that.
I've been thinking a lot about it, and I do miss home. I miss it quite badly. And I didn't realise until I saw you, and now, I don't know, there's so much danger there. To be honest, I'm a little scared. What do you think I should do?
Well, I wonder, what would you do if you don't travel back?
Oh, I suppose I'd just spend time out in the forest. I could make quite a nice home near the bogs, I guess. I'm not sure I'd want to live in the city, to be honest. It might be quite lonely, but I'm used to lonely now, I suppose.
Well, I found that you can probably get a bit too used to lonely. That's my experience. I don't want to try to sway you or influence you. It's up to you to make this decision on your own, of course, but I spent a long time on my own in a grove, and I was just able to please myself, I suppose. And I wasn't likely to get hurt or see suffering, but I wasn't really living, I don't think. I've realised that now. So much has happened over the past few weeks, it's been hard to digest it and think about it properly, but I don't think I was really living during that time.
I think you're right, and I think I have to go home. I think I have to come with you, and as long as you're happy with that, then that's what I'll do. I miss our people, and I miss the tribe, and if there's any hope of getting back there and helping them and freeing them, then I'm just going to have to be brave like you and just do it, won't I?
Well, I'm not sure I'm that brave, but I think you're right. I think you've just got to do it. We never know what's going to happen. That's one thing. It's one thing Vander says, which I think I agree with. I've been pondering on this, but he says you never really know what's going to happen. You've just got to do it, and the action. He says it better than this. He's got that way with words, hasn't he, that Vander?
Oh yeah.
But it's all about the doing. You can't know. You've just got to do.
And then hope you make the right decision.
Well, quite.
Time for us both to be brave then, I think. And you feel her hand grip your hand.
Yeah, and Petren takes hold of the hand.
And the two of you walk the streets in the rain, hand in hand. As you guys prepare for departure, Seeksorrow, you are on the docks of Greyport, helping to load materials onto the Sterling when Vander walks by with Morticia on his arm.
So Seeksorrow is struggling up the gangplank, and he is holding a large parcel wrapped in brown paper, and it looks like it's the shape of like a massive letter or a massive book. You know, it's a large rectangle that's relatively thin, and for some reason he hasn't asked anyone for help, and you get the sense that he's trying to scurry up the ladder without anyone noticing. And this thing is like 8 feet tall, 4 feet wide, and 3 or 4 inches deep. So like I say, it looks like a gigantic birthday card.
Vander, who has been looking deep into the eyes of Morticia, like any good captain, senses contraband. Like a rattlesnake, his head snaps in the direction of Seeksorrow.
Seeksorrow! What, pray, do you have there?
Just reacting to the rattlesnake-like thing, a tiny little head appears from Seeksorrow's pocket and gazes beadily at Vander. This is Adam, the pocket adder, and he goes back down again. Oh, nothing, Vander, just stowing provisions for the journey. And Seeksorrow props the thing, props it down on his foot so he can free one hand to do a salute, and then picks it up again and then carries on struggling up the gangplank as quick as he possibly can.
Vander quickly looks in the direction of Morticia and communicates in that look, yes, you saw a snake. No, we won't ask any more questions about the snake. And yes, I know that wasn't a proper naval salute. And then he looks back.
She nods in agreement.
Quite right.
Otis!
Vander says in a pained voice.
Clang, 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 clang. Yes, Vander.
Please assist Seeksorrow with his package and ensure that it is appropriate for the ship.
Yes, Vander. And Otis spins to stare at Seeksorrow for just half a second and then begins running towards him.
The choice is yours, Seeksorrow!
Seeksorrow is now in an actual foot race, carrying an 8-foot by 4-foot parcel. Seeksorrow is going below decks for his cabin with his parcel.
Give me a athletics check, please. The score to beat is 21.
Oh. 23! God! Fuck it, Otis. Get your hands off my package.
As he's gaining on you at high speed, Otis lunges for you, and at the last minute you duck out of the way, and Otis flies over the railing into the sea.
And you just, as a door opens, and just as it closes behind Seeksorrow, you hear him go, "You'll never catch me!"
Negative. As he begins to climb up a rope back onto the Sterling.
Vander turns back to Morticia.
My love, as you can see, I have matters to attend to.
Seeksorrow rushes past Petren and Barilla, slams the door, and through the door you just hear him go, "None of your business."
I don't understand these humans some of the time.
No, I might go and check on him. And Petren edges up to Seeksorrow's door and just very gently taps on it. Says, "Seeksorrow, everything all right in there?"
Yeah, absolutely fine, Petren. Everyone keeps chasing me around the place. It's just none of everyone's business. Thank you.
What's none of everyone's business, Seeksorrow?
What? My parcel.
Right.
I bought myself a present.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. What is it? Oh, sorry, no, it's none of my business. Right you are.
Oh, fine, hang on.
And you hear a lot of ripping. He's tearing the paper off his parcel. Then some banging. And then the bed springs of Seeksorrow's bed as he climbs up and down to the bed. And you hear some banging on the wall. He seems to be sort of trying to get something right in there.
Just wait a minute, Petren. Wait a minute.
And then eventually the door opens. He goes, "All right, come in."
Right, you are. Petren is slightly nervous now about what he's going to see when he gets inside, so he tentatively takes a step through the door.
On the far wall, hanging above the bed, more or less floor to ceiling and wall to wall of Seeksorrow's small cabin, is a magnificent painting. This looks like it was expensive. It's in a gold-painted frame. It's oil on canvas. And it shows a enormous wave, like a tidal wave. And halfway down the wave is Seeksorrow, dressed as an admiral, bedecked with lots of medals, surfing on a narwhal. The name of the narwhal is not noted.
Petren just gapes, open-mouthed.
Seeksorrow is not. He needs more than this. What do you think, Petren?
It's taken my breath away, Seeksorrow. That's...
Oh, well, I think that's good, is it? I think that's good.
Well, it's extraordinary, isn't it?
Yeah, he's a very good painter. He said he hadn't. All his other customers are like kings and stuff. Very expensive, this.
I think that might be the best painting I've ever seen.
You absolute sellout.
Wow, look at you, like an admiral surfing. Where'd you get that idea from?
Oh, I just came to me. He wanted to do like he made me sit on a chair. Get this, he wanted me to be sitting on a chair.
Yeah.
And it was just gonna be a picture of me, just in a room with like a curtain behind me.
What was the point of that?
Oh, I know, pointless. And he said he could put a horse in if I really wanted, which is also stupid because I've never ridden on a horse.
But you've ridden on a...
Well, no, but if you haven't done something, you might as well have not done something fun.
Well, I suppose there's logic in that, isn't there?
Yeah, he had the funniest look on his face while he was painting this, like he hated me.
Oh no, that's artists, isn't it? They're often very serious. I think I've certainly heard about that. They're serious and absorbed in their work, and they get these kind of grouchy expressions on their face. I'm sure he was having a whale of a time. Who wouldn't enjoy painting such a magnificence? Imagine having the skill to paint that. Goodness me.
Oh, it's amazing. And actually, a narwhal is a kind of whale.
Is that right?
Seeksorrow now, like metagaming, probably.
It's a cetacean. No. While we're talking about my presents, I'm really glad you like it, Petren. So I want to show you the other little present, because I thought I shouldn't just get something for me. I should also get something for Adam.
What?
He's my adder, my pocket adder.
Oh, right, yeah.
Never has been.
He's doing a lot of lifting.
Yeah.
You wanna keep him away from Cuthbert.
Squeak.
Squeak.
It's happening. It's the turn.
I think weasels actually probably could attack a snake. It might be the sort of thing they would do. So looking around for Cuthbert. Any sign of Cuthbert?
Nah, he's off conquering Shale somewhere.
That's fine. So
Conquering Shale.
Subjugating the people of Shale.
Preying upon the weak.
He's currently sitting for a portrait in the place where Seeksorrow just came from.
He's probably hanging out with Little Tick again. That's another. Yeah, Cuthbert's worried about that. Bad influence.
So Seeksorrow lifts up the flap on his right pocket, and slowly and hesitantly, head of an adder comes out. And as the head continues to emerge, you see that just below the head, he's got a collar and a little necktie.
Fucking hell.
And Seeksorrow goes, What do you think? It was surprisingly difficult to get it on. I had to go from the tail end because he didn't want it. He bit me, to be honest. And I also bought him a hat, but I learned two things from that. And one is that if you try and put a hat on an adder, it will bite you. And the second thing is that snakes don't like hats. They won't wear them.
Again, Petren is silent for a moment and then says, well, to be honest, Seeksorrow, I think that's a little bit silly, don't you?
That's where he draws the line, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm just so pleased there was a line.
So Seeksorrow gives a deep sigh and goes, do you know what, Petren? It's really silly, stupid, that is. And he takes a little knife from his pocket and he cuts the necktie off the back of Adam. Did everyone look terrified there? Like
I thought you were going to cut Adam's head off.
Yeah.
It'd be such a dark thing to
Petren in the
do.
heart for insulting his necktie. Adam gives a little snake smile and retreats back into the pocket, tieless.
I'm sorry, Seeksorrow. I didn't mean to make you feel bad.
No, you're right. You're right. I was having a fun time. I wanted to, have some joy in my life. Have a good time. Make hay while the sun shines and all that. It's very difficult to bring joy to the life of an adder.
Well, I think he'll enjoy that painting, like anyone would.
And actually, the pocket flap lifts up slightly, and you can see Adam is having a quick look at the painting. Seeksorrow has a quick look to see if he can read anything in Adam's expression. I don't know, Dom, if I could roll for that.
No, he also didn't smile because snakes don't have lips, so he can't smile.
Seeksorrow perceives that Adam smiled.
Imagines. At this moment, Otis appears in the doorway to Seeksorrow's room.
Fucking Team Otis.
Seeksorrow, he's dripping wet. He's got little bits of seaweed over his head. Seeksorrow, I have come for the package.
Enjoy your swim, did you?
He looks a little hesitant. Petren, please excuse me. I have something to discuss with Seeksorrow.
Oh, right you are. What's happened? Never mind. And Petren makes his exit.
And the door slams. Come here.
Seeksorrow approaches Otis. We're going to fight.
With word reaching you all that the fleet is ready to depart, stood outside the Sterling in the rain are Vander and Morticia Wesson. So, I suppose this is it.
Yes. His hand's starting to shake because, as excited as he is about what's to come, he also knows that this means at least a brief goodbye to Morticia.
Morticia, I knew that words may fail me.
And Vander looks away for a second.
So I wrote this.
And from his admiral's tunic he produces a fine piece of paper which is folded over. You can see scribbles on the inside, but they're not discernible to you as he passes the paper to Morticia.
That is for a quieter moment,
he says, reading her thoughts.
She takes the piece of parchment and slips it into her purse. Oh, Cyril, you're going to do something brave, aren't you?
I do it for you, Morticia, and I promise I will return.
He gives her hand a squeeze.
I'm not without my skills and my lucky charm.
And he opens his other pocket of his admiral coat, and you can just see in the inside pocket the top of a unicorn's horn.
She smiles and then goes in for a deep kiss.
And Vander is lost again to the joy of having Morticia back in his life.
And when she pulls away, still holding you tight, just a reminder of what you're fighting for and what awaits you when you return.
As if charged by an energy that can't be given in any other way, Vander, with a flourish, holds her close once, then shambles up the deck, up the gangplank, yelling orders at crew to begin making sail. He wanders to the poop deck, past where he would usually go at the helmsman's spot, and if Tok has done his job, there is now an admiral's chair waiting for Vander. Vander looks at the fine carvings of the chair and takes a seat. Looking ahead into the storms he can see forming in the clouds miles off, and then down at Morticia, the love of his life, Vander feels a kind of completeness that he has never felt. In amongst all of the joy he's feeling, his eye narrows to a point, and he turns to one of the newest crewmates of the Sterling.
Geddes,
Vander says, turning to a crewmate holding two flags.
Punch it.
And the Sterling departs. Beneath the shadow of Mourner's Keep, carved deep into the cliffside, the hidden hangars open. One by one, airships emerge, sleek, proud silhouettes slicing through the driving wind and rain. Lightning forks across the sky as the canvas wings snap to life, and a dozen hulls rise in unison, defying gravity and silence alike. The storm howls, but the fleet sings louder, as do the people below. You hear gasps and cheers from the rain-drenched streets of Shale. For the first time in a long time, pride is restored to the ancient place. And high above, the Sterling waits expectantly. It waits to lead the charge into the fury of the clouds, while hope fills the spaces in between. The spaces in the hearts of the people, the soul of the air fleet, and the crew of the Sterling. You depart at speed for Sanctuary, your home and the home of the rebellion. Hope, it seems, does not always whisper. Sometimes it roars.
Woo! Let's do this!
And we will end it there.
Yes! Massive! Massive! Let's fucking go!
Listening to Dice Company's Small Embers, starring Dave Windust as Petren Oakflower, Alex Morrison as Seeksorrow, Charlie Blackadder as Vander Finnick, and Harry King as Talk, with Tom Patrick as your Dungeon Master.
The humans of Dice Company would like to thank the following sweethearts for their support: Tifa Kaboom, Dave Patterson, Boy Genius, Zeus Legion, Zero Nova, Sepulchre Stennet, Marky B, Jenny the War Camel, Stephen Sikora, Laurie Gosler, Mickey Arnold, Happy Daddy Scotty, Tika, SJ Phionics, Richard Ungamus, Rabbi Camel, Team Stay Toxic, Path Pursuit, Paris Pakar, Julia Zeno, Shovels, Queenie, and extra special thanks to our very own Council of the Rojan, Mama Strange, Axel Runholm, and Chris from North London.
Vander's too busy looking through the crew manifest. I thought this guy was meant to be a cook. Right back, you son of a bitch.
God, what a chat. That took me a second to get my head around the Under Siege reference.
Yeah. Well, you just made your way out of the brig. So, that's where that came from. Please don't put that in. It was a lovely ending. We do not need Under Siege.
Are you calling a baby heron a gosling? Is that a deliberate mistake? It's a baby goose, right? It's a chick, isn't it? Small heron.
Is it a chick? Okay,
yeah.
Chick. And a heron chick lands on your shoulder.
Or a fledgling, apparently.
For fuck's sake.
if chick's chick is very little, isn't it?
A small heron lands on your shoulder.
I was born in the darkness.
Said Boris the unicorn.
It's a malfunctioning children's unicorn. If you touch it, if you tickle its tummy, it says, "I was born in the darkness."
It's there in the darkness. It's there in the darkness of Vander's drawers, chanting "Deshi, Deshi, Bassa, Bassa." Climb.
I don't think anyone wants to live in Vander's drawers.
Except for Boris the unicorn.
Maybe Morticia.
Boris? It was Morris a second ago.
Walrus.
Walrus the unicorn.
Why don't we just give it a simple name and easy to remember, something like Boromir?
So you really do have to drop acid before you come up with Walrus the unicorn.
I'm a narwhal.
Jesus.
Walrus the unicorn thinks he's a narwhal.
Didn't they say that intelligence is the ability, or some notions of intelligence is the ability to make or continue to make connections past where other people can connect? And So either this is a supremely intelligent thing, or you've destroyed the theory and we're all dense as anything now because we're equating narwhals to unicorns to walruses.
I think we could keep our options open then.
Yeah, come on. Try it.
Caution, Vander, you have short-circuited the GM.
Alarm.
Lore.
Thanks for listening. Please consider supporting Dice Company on Patreon, where for the price of a cup of coffee you get access to a whole other show, Extra Roll, as well as an ad-free listening experience. The Dice Company Discord server, along with our socials, can be found on our link tree in the show notes. If you enjoyed this chapter, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to recommend us to your friends. If you didn't like it, recommend us to your enemies. And we'll see you next time on Dice Company.